Second movement of the Great Symphony Number 5 by Beethoven. Premiere. There was also the Fourth Symphony in the bill of fare, the Choral Fantasia, then Fourth Piano Concerto, and a few other choice pieces, and it went on for 4 hours. Nicholas Honeycomb and the Chamber Orchestra of Europe. And here on In Tune, we have music for one instrument that sounds like a full orchestra coming up later. Ryan Corbett playing live for us after 6 o'clock. Time 20 minutes to the hour of 6 now, and we celebrate someone next. Well, his music for 18 Musicians was a seminal one for the minimalist passions. I am, he said, interested in perceptible processes. The Hallé Orchestra giving Steve Reich a 3-day festival. His music described shortly by two of his most passionate devotees. Colin Curry has been called the summit of percussion performance, and Jonny Greenwood, lead guitarist of phenomenal band Radiohead, is another. Jonny Greenwood and harpsichord, and his invention for harpsichord and compression music that was used in the movie Spencer, to do with Diana, that is. Well, Jonny, that's not what Radiohead fans would expect from you, is it?
I suppose not. No, no guitars involved.
No, indeed. But I mean, I said your palette is huge. You've been at the Proms, you've been at the BBC Concert Orchestra. Is there any genre of music that you haven't actually embraced, do you think?
I mean, master of none and jack of all trades, my mother would have said. But, yeah, I'm just very much in love with musicians and music and how people play their instruments, and it's a big lake to swim in.
Yeah. Well, where did you get first of all passionate about Steve Reich?
It was actually a recording of Hallé that a friend gave me,
And you still have. You didn't return it, I gather.
it's true. I stole it. Nat, I'm really sorry. I've still got your CD, and it just fascinated me. And then I got to start seeing some of Steve Reich's music live, and it just
Yeah.
became an obsession.
Well, indeed, and I mean it's a double obsession in a way because Steve Reich loves your music and he has reworked your songs in his radio rewrite. An accolade, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's just so surreal and flattering, and I mean, he created a whole new thing from just a few chord changes, really.
Yeah.
So it was just fascinating to see what could grow from that simple idea.
Well, you're celebrating, of course, it's going to be a 3-day festival in Manchester. Colin Curry is there as well. I see of essence of percussion. I mean, Colin, you actually formed a group really specially to play Reich, didn't you?
Yes, the CCG, the Colin Curry Group, was founded and is devoted to specialize in this music. And our way in was the great seminal work drumming. But as soon as we played that piece, I knew that we all had the bug and we had to go after as much of it as we could. And that's what we've done.
Yeah. I mean, when we talk about him, he's a great figure. He's actually given a world premiere performance in the studio, I have to tell you. You probably never heard it, have you?
Well, do go on.
No, it's all right. No, he came in. His mobile phone went off, and he couldn't find it. And it was about 30 seconds. And I said, "Did you write that tune?" He said, "Yes, I did. It's to recognise my wife calling." So it was a world premiere, and I don't think it's ever been repeated. So there we are. That's my claim to fame. But how would you describe his music? I mean, we talk about it being a seminal minimalist, extraordinary fascination with rhythm. I don't know. Can you analyse it easily?
I think the beauty of it is that it is so utterly expansive, and we've had one day of rehearsal now with the Hallé Orchestra. We did the desert music this morning. We did the 4 sections this afternoon. I mean, this music is so powerful, and you could never reduce it to any kind of label or, oh, it's about the rhythm, or it's about this, or it's minimalist. I mean, indeed, the minimalism thing, because there's so much to this music. There's absolutely nothing minimal about it at all. It is proud, it is big-hearted, it is bold, it is beautiful.
Yeah.
His harmonic range, the colors, are utterly intoxicating and enthralling and uplifting music.
Yes. Well, I mean, we talked about the music for 18 musicians. We're going to hear the start of Pulses. I mean, that's with your group, Colin. Is this an old recording? Is this one of the first things you tackled?
Well, music for 18 was always bucket list material, and we played it first in 2013. And having played it many, many times since then, we finally got round to recording it. And we released an album of it last year, which we recorded in Abbey Road. And so it's a relatively new album and one that we relish recording and enjoy sharing.
beginning of pulses from music for 18 musicians by Steve Reich in the 1970s. They said the impact was overwhelming. That from recent recording by Colin Curry group. Colin, it obviously never fails to touch you, does it?
Well, I think the timeless quality of this music, it just it floats and all its magic, and time seems to stand still, and you're just captivated and held in that moment, listening to this extraordinary sound unfold. It's a wonder.
Jonny Greenwood, of course, it's really impacted on you, but I think you've said, there's something visual and visceral about this music. You say, never mind listening to recordings, come and experience it.
Yeah, it's seeing the live concerts that you realise that it's all about the effort of playing it as well, the muscles involved, and the fact that people are moving from instrument to instrument and carrying their music with them, and you're seeing this collective thing happening, and it makes what's already very emotional music to me even more emotional, even more sort of heartfelt and human, which are all probably wrong things to say about supposedly minimal music.
No, it's got to touch the heart as well. Yeah, it's got to touch the heart. Well, 3 days of it, including the radio rewrite, which is Steve Reich's tribute to you, which is extraordinary. And we've a little surprise for you, Jonny. We just thought at the end, because everybody thinks of you as being, the great man at Radiohead and embracing all the different spheres of music. But what I didn't realise was that you still rather love the recorder, and occasionally, even at huge gigs, you will take out your recorder and play a little Telemann. Is that right?
I do love playing the recorder. It's true. Well, we play all these venues that have, some of the larger venues have their sports venues. So there's a big shower room for the basketball team to use afterwards. But instead, I kind of use it as a room to go and make my terrible violin or recorder playing sound slightly more in tune than it really is. So yeah, I basically carried on playing recorder long after I should have given up, and I'm still very proud and happy to play it.
You've conjured up quite an image that's going to stay with me for some time. Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. Here comes the recorder.